fantastic you should acknowledge the Centrelink staff. I mean, they have had a hell of a day, just like every other Australian, as they're facing the uncertainty that this crisis is presenting them. But, you know, they're doing a fantastic job, and we'll just ask people to understand this is completely unprecedented. The kind of demand that we've seen on services today has never been seen before. But we're scaling up as quickly as we can. We're making sure we're putting things in place to make sure every single person who needs our help will get it. And I'm really pleased to say, Paul, that if people would go online, the minute they actually register their intent for payment, and of course that they're eligible, they will be paid from the day they register their intent. So that's great news for people who are waiting and maybe have had a little bit of trouble getting through today or seeing someone today, that their payments will actually occur from the day that they actually put their registration of intent that they need the payment.
I agree completely, Minister, but isn't the problem that the website, the MyGov website, is so hard to get to today, simply because there's only, you know, the pipe is only so big and there's a lot of people trying to get on it. So I get it. I know that there's, for some people, an incredible difference between 1 or 2 days. For others, they can probably take it along. But can you give any guarantees that, OK, you can't get on today, but you'll be able to get on tomorrow?
Well, look, everybody is working as hard as they possibly can, Paul, and you know, I'd love to be able to guarantee absolutely 100% that everybody who comes forward tomorrow will be able to get access to the service in the way that they choose to access it. And I hope that's the case, and we are certainly striving to do that. But it is really hard to tell. You know, this is just unrolling so quickly, and it's also moving in, you know, various directions. So we're trying our best to try and respond and to stay ahead of the changes and circumstances that we see out on the ground. But it's just moving so rapidly. I suppose we're asking the Australian public, be patient. We're doing absolutely the best that we can. We've employed 5,000 new people today. We're making sure that our technology is as up to speed as it possibly can be. But you know, when you're expecting, you know, a few thousand people to go online in any 1 hour, and you find you've got 100,000 on at any one time, you know, people just have to understand that, unfortunately, that is going to put some pretty significant pressure on our technical systems. But Centrelink's an essential service. It's got to be there every single day of this coronavirus crisis. So, you know, you can be assured, just like the supermarkets will remain open, Centrelink will remain open, whether it be online, on the phone, and into some smaller degree, face-to-face service. It will be there for Australians who need it over the coming months.
Now, obviously, that you mentioned the 5,000 extra workers, which is really good to hear. What work is happening behind the scenes to bolster the website, to bolster the phone lines, to make sure that there is double, treble, quadruple the number of people there to deal with the public compared to this time last week?
Well, we've actually been working for quite some time in increasing our capability, both on the website and with our call centres around the country. Many of our the extra 5,000 people that we'll be putting on will be processing applications, and particularly being on the phone and making sure that when people call that the wait times are as short as possible. But in terms of the capacity of the website, we're hoping that if we can convince people to be patient, to make sure that they've got their information, you know, when they go online, and they're on there only once. So if you're going to make an application, make sure you've got your 100-point check with you, so that you only actually have to go online once, put your information in, register your intent for payment, and automatically you'll get it. The other thing I'd say too, Paul, for anybody who's currently on payment who might be eligible for the bonus or the supplement, or they might be eligible for the $750 payments, they don't have to do anything. That will automatically turn up in your bank account if you are on payment. So if you're on payment, you don't need to contact Centrelink at all.
Now, Minister, when people are trying to work out either what they're entitled to, or they're hearing something in the news, and then a couple of days later they want to work out if that's going to be for them, where is there to go? Is there multiple websites that will tell you this stuff, or is there, you know, one central place, which is the same place everyone is trying to apply for these benefits?
Look, if people want general information about the virus, the best place for them to go is australia.gov.au, and that has all sorts of information, whether it be health information, travel, you know, social distancing information, and also directs you to the various sites that you may need to go to for specific things like being able to make claim for payment. If you want to make claim for payment, Obviously, the website is to servicesaustralia.gov.au, the MyGov account, to go on there, and you'll get information that is specifically about payments. But equally, people can go on social media. We're posting all the time on social media about what to do. The Prime Minister goes out every day with an update of what's going on. But also, people need to make sure they know what's going on in their own state, because different states are putting in place different restrictions, and those restrictions may well only be specific to your state. So there is a lot of information, and I know it's really tough for people to try and work their way through the myriad of different places. But first stop shop, australia.gov.au, would be a really good place to start people having a look to make sure that they know what information is available for them to go and pursue.
Now, Minister, I know that you're one of the busiest people in a very busy government. I would love the opportunity to talk to you more frequently through all of this, because there's going to be a lot of focus on the chaos of this, the cues of this. There's going to inevitably be some political sniping about what was okay and what was not okay. But can I give you this assurance? I want our conversations to be about what the people watching at home need to know, rather than cutting things up for the news. So can we do a deal where we're going to get on the telly pretty frequently through this and help people through the process?
Look, absolutely. And the opportunity to say to people out there that are listening to you, if you see something on social media, don't necessarily believe it. Truth check it with a credible news outlet like this, or truth check it with one of our websites, because there is so much panic and so much distress being caused by false information that's floating around, and we're doing our best to counter it, but it's great when you have credible news stations like yours actually telling the public the facts of the matter.
Thank you, Minister. We'll talk soon.